Welcome back to my channels, ladies and gentlemen. Back to new. All right, today we have a beautiful MCM Dixie Chevron 2-drawer nightstand. I found these in my local Habitat for Humanity for just 50 bucks. And they're huge, they're unique. I've never seen anything like these before, and I wanted to put some stuff on the front, but I was unable to do that. I hope you'll just like the simple paint that I do at the end. Right here, you'll see me trying to lift these big heavy things, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I was struggling. I had to cut the camera a couple times and do some edits so that you won't see me struggle and breathe very hard, but it was definitely in the mix there. Okay, so now I'm getting them all set up, checking out all the hardware and all those things to make sure that I have a proper piece. Taking out the screws. As you can see, there's a broke one right there. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but we have one missing. I think you can see it there at the bottom. So we have some issues there. But anyway, it's very important to go ahead and take all the pieces out and see what we're working with. They say the key to a good find is when you find more than what you purchase. In other words, when you find some greatness in the middle of one of those drawers. And I found a very interesting sports trivia. All right, so now we're back to business. We're cleaning this off. I use some degreaser to clean this off. I spray it all the way down all sides and make sure that it's nice and clean. And I found the spots that needed a little bit of help. Then I put a little bit of help on that in the form of some plastic wood, which actually worked out exceptionally well. It was fast drying. I put it in all the different places that needed it. I was hoping the rain wouldn't mess anything up as far as drying. Do I want to go with gray or green? And I sent a text out. I started to put it here. All the friends that I sent a text to let them vote on it. But overwhelmingly, I think I sent it to 15 people. 13 of the 15 said, let's go with green. Next, I had to do a little scuff sanding. After you scuff, you get it ready. Now I'm starting to debate on whether or not I want to do a stain or do a paint, because the scuff sanding came out so well. You'll get to see in the end. Anyway, I did this in my garage because it was raining, and unfortunately I couldn't get outside on the side of the house to do it. Dust went everywhere. Always sand on the side of the house. I think I told y'all before, this is actually an exercise of mental health and also restoration of furniture. So back to new is more than just painting and staining. It's also a physical restoration. All right, back to work. Here we go. So now what I'm going to do is time to prime it. And I use this Ben primer. This Ben primer is actually wonderful. Funny thing is, the first time I ever used Ben, I didn't know that I couldn't add anything, so I added other primers to it, and it made it so thick and I couldn't use it. So Ben is very good, has great coverage, but what you need to do, of course, is just let it do its thing all by itself. All right, so I decided to go ahead and show you guys that I'm priming the entire piece, which lets you know now that I did not do a stain on the top. It's very important to get you a nice little scuff sand in between each coat of paint or primer. And so that's what I'm doing right here. And I think my camera actually went out last night and got drunk because it took a little fall. Picking back up, and let's get back to sanding. Looks good, nice and smooth there. The rain has stopped. This must be the next day because it's dry outside. And plus I don't see any other cars in the driveway. Okay. So I have a problem here. These are the drawer pull that came with these particular drawers in this nightstand. Now the drawers, as you can see, they're all just fine. They're all in great shape. All I need to do now is just kind of give them a little scuff sand. However, this one here does not have a piece in there. So I don't know exactly how to fix that, and neither does this one have a piece. So I've looked online, Amazon, eBay, I've looked everywhere. Now I found one for like 110 bucks. And I need two, but even at 110 bucks, that would definitely cut into the profit margin. So therefore, I'm gonna have to makeshift something. So you may have to stay tuned. What I think I'm gonna do, maybe fill two of these holes and put a different drawer pull in there. So that's the only other option. I do have another drawer pull that I think may work. So we may have to find out if that's gonna look good together. 111 bucks for one of these. These are actually probably worth more than what I was gonna sell them for in the beginning. Maybe I have to come up with a better idea. Just fill them all in, put cheap drawer pulls on, and just sell these things individually. This is like 300 bucks in my hand right here. Just so you can see, this is what it looks like. So I'd have to fill that hole up right there completely. Two of them, so they'll be matching on both. I would have to fill this up with some putty, wood putty. I don't know how long that would take to dry. So this may push me back a couple of hours, maybe a day. And but if you guys know of any other place where I can buy some drawer pulls, please let me know so this won't be a problem again. I found a couple pieces on Amazon, and these pieces, they worked very, very well actually. And there's a happy accident. I was trying to get something as close as I could to the original piece, but obviously I couldn't go and get the exact same pieces because of said price, $100 and something. So I found something very similar and it worked out just fine. Now I have to drill some holes, and I think that you can see that I didn't quite sand it all the way down, which I really did, but there's that ring and the sanding, and no matter how much putty I put over it, it just didn't come out right. So I'm glad that I bought the pieces that I actually did buy, because those pieces worked fine in covering that up. It was maybe a small variation on the top, maybe a small variation on the sides, and a small variation on the bottom. But for the most part, it covered it up and you couldn't really tell. So it'll be our little secret until someone else decides to come back and restore these later, and then they'll be able to see what it is that I did. So just keep it between us until then. Now, of course, nailing it is probably frowned upon, but that's the only way I can do it. Now, as I put this here, I had to fast forward and edit and take some things out, but I put it in backwards, and it probably took me longer to put these things in correctly than it did for me to paint and buy and wait on Amazon to bring the pieces, etc., etc. This took an awfully long time, so I know you guys didn't want to see all that. Here's the before, and here's the after. Please let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.